watching Alaska's news source.
Well, our Roadtrippin series takes crews across the state each summer. This year, Melissa Frey and Beth Verge are headed west to a very historic gem, a popular place for residents and visitors alike.
What do you guys want to sit up front?
Here's a hint, and likely the only one you'll need. I should go to the left. Katmai Air with Bristol Adventures is taking us there.
This morning we're going to plane you in our PC-12. PC-12 is a pressurized single-engine turboprop. We'll take you down to King Salmon in that airplane, and King Salmon will transfer you to our float planes. And from King Salmon to Brooks Falls, we'll take you in a single-engine turbine otter, and that airplane should land at Brooks Falls, I would guess probably about 10:15, and then you'll have a day in the park.
Leaving Anchorage, we head west on the Pilatus PC-12, piloted by Greg Pfeiffer. Floating in and out of the clouds, the radar is active below, but it's all blue skies at 20,000 feet, and the ride is smooth. After touching down for a quick stop in King Salmon, we switch from wheels to floats.
I'm interested to see how this is all going to work out. This is not your average float plane. Yeah, this is like float plane on steroids.
And take a seat on this de Havilland Otter. With pilot Sean Bogart giving us our first view of Katmai National Park and Preserve. Sun breaking through to shine on the glacier-fed Naknek Lake, the largest lake entirely within a single park.
You made it!
And our home for the next 24 hours.
It is our first time here, so you know we're going to try to get a taste of absolutely everything.
Yes, we're going to see it all, do it all, and we'll see you on the next one. At a place known for world-class views, fishing, camping, and the one-of-a-kind salmon buffet. It turns out there's a hearty helping of options for humans, too. Delicious meals from a buffet we find a whole flight away from the nearest town. No grocery store here at Brooks Lodge. But with food flown into King Salmon,
they cart it all the way into their airplanes, the float planes. They fly it out here.
A whole crew comes together to make the down-home cooking possible. Rory Pauken is the Brooks Lodge baker, a lifelong Alaskan from St. Mary's, where a dining experience like this just doesn't exist.
The closest thing to restaurant food you get out there is the deli at AC, Alaska Commercial Company. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yes. The kitchen is small, but the team's love of cooking is obvious. Breakfast begins with fluffy blueberry pancakes and colorful fresh berries. But let's not forget the bright pink salmon cakes, bacon, eggs, and handcrafted pastries that look more like art than food. A lunchtime salad bar full of choices is a welcome side after exploring the camp, complete with roasted chicken, tomato pasta, and hot soup that couldn't be passed up. And dinner is another adventure in itself. Flavorful apple-stuffed pork tenderloin with colorful roasted veggies and homemade rolls that hit the spot. But let's be honest, the gooey homemade brownies, crunchy layered coconut bars, and sweet cakes have us jumping back in line. We quickly learn the food here is special, but for Pauken, something else keeps drawing him back.
The place and the people. It's an amazing place.
I'm Melissa Frey, Roadtrippin for Alaska's news source.
Well, our crews have spent the last several weeks road tripping all across Alaska, but the road our crew shows us today, perhaps one of the most remote. Beth Verge and Melissa Frey have a brief look at what it takes to get to the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, where in June of 1912, a new volcano emerged and forever changed the region.
Headed to a place where the only constant is change. I also want to welcome you to the ancestral homeland of Yupik, Supiaq, and Dena'ina people. Here, what we now call Katmai National Park, we've got 4 million acres. We're the 4th largest park in the national park system.
We are on the Valley Bus, and we are making our way from Brooks Camp out to the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. So this is a 23-mile gravel, single-lane, one-way road. You can see it's a little bumpy here, and the road was just constructed. So we're excited to hopefully see some wildlife and make it out to the Valley of 10,000 Smokes.
He's driving a certain way because of the conditions, because it's been wet and different. And so there's lots of safety measures taken because the road is soft. You know, like he can't go too close to the edges. He has to stay in the middle. And when we get to the river crossings, you'll see there too, where depending on if we've had a lot of rain and the water is rushing, the underbed will shift. It changes. Yes, this is a place of change.
As we make our way to the next stop, we'll start to see some of this pyroclastic flow. At the time, they believed it was Katmai volcano that erupted. And so everybody was saying it's Katmai volcano. And, you know, remember that we were just traveling on this 23-mile road? The ash flew up 20 miles into the sky.
Wow.
So if you can kind of relate that to what our journey here is, it was going that far. And so as we make our way closer, you're going to start to see these piles of this ash everywhere.
Well, after 23 miles, 3 river crossings, and 112 snowshoe hare sightings, we have made it to the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. We're going to hike down into the valley and see what's there.
The skies are overcast and the rain is falling on this June day, but the clouds lift just enough to reveal our destination. The Valley of 10,000 Smokes, created 113 years ago, almost to the day, when it was ash instead of rain that was falling. To get there with rain pants and hiking boots on, we take the narrow path into the woods.
Slippery when wet.
Less than 3.5 miles to go. Oh, and a 1,000 feet elevation drop. The clouds keep us from really knowing what's out there, but Park Ranger Mary Lisa leads the way.
Doodle day, we're not here to stay.
We keep an eye out for sneak peeks of the valley while also keeping our footing and watching for wildlife.
It could be wolf.
The ground cover changes as we go, from low brush to tall trees, and then the first sign we are no longer just in a forest.
Pumice. This is pumice from the volcano over 100 years ago.
It's not quite the Yellow Brick Road, but we do follow it, and it looks like the work of a wizard as water flows over solid rock formed from pyroclastic flows. And then we make it to the ash.
Look at all this ash that was left here after the eruption of Nova Erupta. It's been here for more than 100 years, but look at all this beautiful new life, even in the Valley of 10,000 Smokes.
It's a contrast of new and old as we make our way down. And then, what we came here for.
We have made it here to the base of the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. And not only have we been walking on ash, but look at this wall of ash behind us, 70 feet tall.
It's just incredible to imagine the power of what was the largest eruption on the planet in the 20th century that forever changed the landscape of what was once green forested land into something completely different. Transformed, yet still so beautiful.
Roadtrippin for Alaska's news source in Katmai National Park, I'm Melissa Frey.
Well, Katmai National Park and Preserve is world famous for its bears, right? But long before the Bear Cam or Fat Bear Week, there was the Valley of 10,000 Smokes. Melissa Frey reports tonight in this installment of Roadtrippin.
There's a peacefulness inside Katmai National Park. The rich teal water flows gently. Birds sing freely. And the snow-capped mountains bring a depth and curiosity of how much is out there. It's 4 million acres of beautiful, abundant, and now protected lands. And in the middle sits the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, evidence of a once turbulent land and violent eruption, and the foundation of this national park.
The Valley of 10,000 Smokes is how we became a national park, how we became a national monument in the first place. It's the site of the largest volcanic eruption in the 20th century.
Today, it's a beautiful landscape, but 113 years ago, in June 1912, a single magma vent, now named Nova Erupta, was the site of an eruption that was felt around the world. So powerful that Mount Katmai, more than 6 miles away, collapsed when the magma was rapidly pulled from the mountain.
The wildlife were decimated. Birds were falling out of the sky. The animals, mammals, destroyed. And the salmon did not come back for 5 years. They were just gone.
No deaths? Because the people here knew to leave.
No one who was currently living here in this area had never experienced an eruption themselves, but they had known from knowledge that had been passed down through generations that when the earth quakes, that's a sign.
Years later, explorers returned to the land to find something they'd never seen before.
We're standing here in the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, a land of ash. It was created 113 years ago when there was the largest eruption in the 20th century. This is why we now have Katmai National Park and Preserve.
All protected land because of how strangely alive and unique it was then.
And these lines here, these kind of creases, these channels, are where the smoke is steam from the water. It's coming straight up.
And today, even with the towering wall of ash, evidence of pyroclastic flows and pumice scattered across the valley floor, there is a new peace and stillness here as the land remains untouched. Roadtrippin' for Alaska's news source, I'm Melissa Frey.
What an incredible history lesson with the most gorgeous of backdrops. Check that out if you can. And don't forget, you can read full stories and watch videos from and we got some great ones, all of our crew's road tripping adventures. Just click on the Road Trippin' tab on our website or the mobile app and check them out.